Hey, this is Notser, and we're taking a look at the premium Tier 9 French battleship Jean Bart on the map Hotspot. This will, I believe, be a free XP or arsenal with coal ship, and it should be introduced in probably 1 month. Keep in mind that this is a first impression. I've played it probably 5 total games. I wanted to get a video out to explore the potential that the ship has, but also to discuss the main battery reload and just how it felt to play. So that is the main trait that everyone will notice right off the bat. It comes equipped with a consumable that has honestly never existed outside of the French cruiser testing that we're doing right now on the public test server. The main battery reload consumable lasts for 30 seconds and improves the reload by 50%. So the 22-second reload is going to go down to 11 seconds. And this enemy Ismo, I have good knowledge that it has used damage control. So I'm going to take advantage of one of the unique traits that will be becoming a staple of every French cruiser and this particular battleship with this cooldown. And that is lighting 2, 3, 4 fires on a target that just used damage control. By just using damage control, they are incredibly vulnerable to dots. And we all know damage over time, HE fire, is probably the most prevalent gameplay element right now at medium to high tier, and it's frustrating for players, of course. There's a lot of people building counter. Well, how can you really counter it? You can lower its effective force against you, but not completely negate it. But this Ismo, 3 fires. He is burning for a very healthy amount. Before the Ismo, I tried to make use of the main battery reload against an enemy DD that was spotted out. Now, unlike the French cruisers, which last for 10 seconds, 30 seconds is a giant window, and honestly, it's going to limit the amount of chances you get to use it against a DD, because most DDs do not stay visible for 30 seconds, unless, of course, they are forced into it by radar. With all that considered, it feels like the best opportunity is 2 or 3 fires at range, or when a target is broadside enough and consistently broadside that you can pump in 2, 3, 4 salvos of AP. Otherwise, it doesn't really feel worth it. The more attractive trait, and this is because I've played the Massachusetts and really enjoy it, is that the heal has a 40-second recharge rather than 80. It has double the use window versus the standard heal that you're familiar with all battleships. But if you played the Massachusetts, and obviously now that I've played Jean Bart, I like it. I love it. And I would absolutely want more of it. It is just so usable in this HE spamming world where pretty much everyone is super excited about lighting 2 or 3 fires on you, and you're over here going, well, that's just great. Now the faster recharge, you can recover better. Obviously, fire is fully healable if given the opportunity, and you are given the opportunity quite frequently with this ship and the Massachusetts. So I really enjoy that addition, Wargaming, and yeah, there you go. Get out of there, Charles. You really feel 8 guns on accuracy at medium to long range. There's just not enough shells flying towards the target to offset the 8 guns. And yes, you have better reload, but it's still 8 guns. Now, enemy Yamato and another enemy Kronstadt is in the area, and he knocks out one of my guns. I choose to repair it. You know, it's incredibly ballsy and aggressive, but I like to live dangerously, and I want to have my guns for the broadside Yamato as he's retreating, and I'm going to assist him with more fire. Honestly, I was a little surprised with how much fire was already set on the ship, but we did 9,000. That's not too bad. Got pretty fortunate with that dispersion. And I'm just going to move forward. It still has the French speed boost, which is nice. It does not have secondary gun range. You cannot use your French secondary ship captains in this ship and feel like you're getting the most out of it, you really need to use something like your Leon commander, which I am. But if you're someone who enjoys the secondary playstyle and you've already invested in Richelieu, Alsace, Republic, well, you're going to have to reinvest in a tier 7, tier 6 commander because this is not secondary. There is nothing secondary about this ship. The main battery reload only benefits your main battery. So keep that all in mind. It's kind of the reverse of the American battleship with the Massachusetts. Pretty much all American battleships have the same exact commander. And then you introduce a secondary build battleship for the American branch. It's like, where am I going to get this guy? It's a little bit easier for the French because earlier tier you just can't make use of secondaries because they're so shallow. And that's pretty much what I've done. I've taken my tier 7, which it's not a bad thing to invest more XP into my Leon commander. But oh my god, 16 guns versus 8 at tier 8, 8 in this variant at tier 9. I don't know that I would go that direction. For me, I have to consider, do I want to spend this free XP on this ship or Alaska? Or Musashi or Kronstadt? You know, it's getting to the point where there's so many free XP ships. Honestly, you really have to be pretty particular. Find the ship that fits your playstyle the best. And yes, relighting fires on a previously used damage control ship is going to be effective. But it's not very sexy. It's very unsexy. It's very consistently boring. But that's what you got to do, right? That's what I would do in most cases. After making use of this skill, it really does feel like the window that you can exploit the most consistently is that damage control cooldown. This Kronstadt took torpedoes, used damage control, doesn't really matter. High gun velocity, shells are going to get out there, and they're actually going to beat the friendly HE. And we take out the Kronstadt. Unfortunately, Kronstadt took out the Shimakaze, and now we got an enemy Yamato. Bow on behind the island. I have no interest going after you. It's the Richelieu, so the armor hasn't really changed at all. Guns are a little bit more accurate. You have the ability to use the tier 9 module. I use the refire module, of course. But it's pretty much a tier 8 that has been moved up and given a couple tools that make it not completely viable for tier 10 play. It feels a little weak. I'm gonna say that. It just, there's the amount of guns. It really does, it just, maybe I'll get a little bit better, but I'm really missing the 12 gun of the Alsace. And speaking of the Alsace, here we go. We're gonna go against this guy. He is definitely at least sending some secondaries. Doesn't look like he has manual secondary. And I'm going to try and do as much damage as I can without having my consumable. The main battery reload consumable. You only get 4 if you invest in Superintendent Premium. If you don't invest in Premium Consumable and or Superintendent, you only get 2 charges. That's really stingy. You're going to burn through those charges in the first like 3 minutes of the battle. So it's definitely a premium that feels extra premium, like you need to really invest in premium to get the most out of it, and it's just another sink, right? Heal is the same way. You only get, I believe, 3 charges. 3 charges at a 40-second reload. They go by very, very quickly. So, you know, I really want to see the Alaska. I want to see how it plays, if it's enjoyable. Is it going to be something that I'm looking forward to? And I think it's going to be a little bit more unique to the point where I would want to invest in it. Whereas this main battery, it's going to be equipped to pretty much every French cruiser before this is even out. And you'll have an opportunity to test it. If you like that playstyle, well, then you can invest in it more. But if you don't like that playstyle, well, That's pretty much the only thing you have on this ship. If you didn't have that, you would just literally be a tier 8 ship with a faster heal at tier 9. And yeah, there's some tier 9 ships that are incredibly powerful. Missouri. Those aren't going away. Ooh, we got a Citadel. Nice. It was an interesting, cool. I love the heal wargaming. Give us more of those heals. It just allows you to be a little bit more aggressive. And yeah, I can't wait to play more of it on stream. I hope you enjoyed this first look. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.